All right. Good morning, everyone. Going to give everyone just a few minutes to log in here and get ready for the seminar. Get nice and cozy, and we'll get started here. Now, while I wait, I'm going to go ahead and send everybody a quick little one-question poll here. Just curious to see if you guys are investing money, and approximately how much are you guys investing right now. So I'm going to go ahead and send that poll out to you here. And again, we'll give everyone just a few minutes to log in here. Just another minute or so. Can everyone hear me okay? If you can hear me okay, go ahead and post in the chat. Awesome. Thank you, guys. All right, if you're just joining us, make sure you answer that one question poll that's popped up there, and we'll get started here in just a short 30 seconds. Okay, I hope everyone had a chance to answer that poll. I appreciate it. We'll go ahead and get started here. Thank you very much for joining our special presentation of our HPM Co-op Marketing Match Program. In case I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you, my name is Justin Jacobs. I am the president of Health Plan Markets, and I am the guy that cuts checks around here. So I want to do more of that. So when we were talking with some of our agents, we realized that not a lot of folks are getting or investing dollars into their marketing, and we want to help with that. And so, obviously marketing is expensive. It's an investment, but we want to be a part of that journey with you as you're growing your book of business. And yes, there are some things that are either low or no cost to you in order to grow your book of business, but some things do cost money. And we realize that some of you have some dollars to invest, but it may not be significant enough to really make a difference. So we've been working on this marketing match program for a while. We did launch it last year, but what we did is we revamped it. We put this together for 2022, and we wanted to bring a little bit more value to you in order to increase the amount of investments that we are making in our agent partnerships. So with that, let's jump in. So the first thing is talking about what is this marketing match program, and what's the purpose behind it. And the first thing is obviously we want to help you maximize your reach. With our marketing match program, we're going to go and double, triple, or even quadruple your prospect reach with the same dollars out of your pocket. So if you have $500, we're going to be able to double, triple, or quadruple that dollar amount, enabling you to capture more leads. Okay, so instead of having $1,000, you could have $2,000, $3,000, or even $4,000 in marketing to really help you boost your reach. So that's the first part of it. The second part of it is we do sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes we get marketing dollars from the carriers, from the providers that are saying, hey, look, we have a budget and we want you to distribute that budget. And sometimes we do global marketing, but what we want to do is do it specifically with you. So this will give you access to marketing capital to really help you invest in growing your book of business. So that's what this is all about. It's about accessing funds and increasing the reach with the same dollar amount out of your pocket. So to break that down simply, we're going 50-50. So HPM will split any marketing expenses 50% with you. Now, we realized that you probably put two and two together. You said, wait a minute, Justin, some of these carriers said that they're going to help us pay. And yes, we're going to do that, but we're going to walk through a couple of scenarios, okay? So the first scenario is, well, before we go through the scenarios, we'll talk about that. So if the carrier and or the doctor group is participating, then what we'll do is we're going to split the remaining balance, okay? And we're going to talk about a couple of scenarios here. So the 50-50 split is just with you. It's not with the carriers. It's not with the doctors. It's with you. So that's going to give you even more reach than just splitting it down the middle, across all parties. So now we'll talk about the scenario. So here's the first scenario. Let's say that it's just HPM and it's just you as an agent, and you want to do a business reply card mailer. So these are those mailers that you can either set it up yourself, or there's a couple of companies out there that can do business reply cards. And let's say that you want to do $2,000 worth of mailers. So if there's no other participant and it's just you and HPM, then HPM will split it 50-50. Your cost would be $1,000. So by spending $1,000, you're going to get $2,000 worth of mailers. Okay. If you decided that you wanted to spend $2,000 worth of mailers, HPM would put in another $2,000, and you would actually get $4,000 worth of mailers. Okay, so your cost in this scenario, if you said, "Hey, look, we want to do a business reply card. I've got $1,000. HPM's going to put in $1,000, and now we have $2,000 worth of business reply cards." Okay, so that's the first scenario. The second scenario is if we do have somebody there. So let's say we have a carrier that says, "Hey, HPM, we've got some dollars and we're going to help you out." So let's say the carrier says, "Hey, we're going to invest $1,000 in your business reply card mailer." So same example, it's $2,000 business reply card, and the carrier is going to put in $1,000. So that leaves a balance of $1,000, right? So we're going to split that with you. So your cost would only be $500. So for $500, you'll be able to access $2,000 worth of BRC mailers. Okay, so in that example, you're actually getting 4 times as much value just by ponying up $500. You're going to get $2,000 worth of mailers. Okay, so again, working backwards, you've got $500. HPM is going to put $500 in, so we got $1,000. The carrier is going to put in their $1,000, and now we've got $2,000 worth of business reply cards. Okay. So that's if the carrier ponies up, to help us out. Here's a third scenario. So it gets even more complex because sometimes these providers want to play with us too. Okay. So same example, we've got a $2,000 mailer. The carrier says, "Hey, we're going to pony up $1,000," and the doctor says, "We're going to pony up $500." And now HPM and you only have to split the remainder of $500. So your cost in this example would be $250. Okay, so for $250, you're going to get almost 10 times as many leads as you would as if you're going out on your own. Okay, so for $250 out of your pocket, you're going to get $2,000 of business reply cards. Okay, so let's work it backwards one more time in this scenario. You've got $250. HPM is going to put in $250, so that matches $500. We add in our doctor reimbursement at $500, so that gives us $1,000. And then the carrier comes in and ponies up the rest at $1,000, and that gives us our $2,000 that we need for the business reply card mailer. Okay, so those are just 3 easy examples on how we can get this going for you, and just using one example as a business reply card. Okay, and we're going to talk about other things that you can do to spend this money in. Okay. Now, here's some requirements. Because this is still under the guidance of compliance, we have to comply with marketing. We can't just give agents money because CMS has regulated our commissions, right? So we have to be very careful on how we do these things. So the first thing that we need to make sure of is that we're getting a copy of the itemized invoices and receipts, okay? So make sure that you're keeping the itemized invoices and receipts, so we can then, if we do get audited, we're able to go back and supply those invoices and receipts. And it must be itemized, okay? So they can't just send you, here's $5,000. It's got to be itemized. What is this $5,000 for, okay? we are asking that all of your carriers are aligned, and that's pretty obvious because if we're sending out dollars, if we're giving you dollars, and you have carriers with other FMOs, it's just not going to make sense for us to invest in our competition, right? It's a good way to go out of business. So we are asking that you have your carriers aligned with us. If there's a special circumstance, please, talk to your manager, talk to one of us, and we'll work with you on getting those carriers aligned, okay? And then the last part here is we are asking you to invest first and then be reimbursed, okay? So we need you to pay for the project first and then be reimbursed, okay? So we will need you to supply those itemized invoices and receipts, okay? Now, with the exception of the carriers ponying up some dollars, right? We understand, hey, you might not have $2,000, on your credit card or however you're going to come up with that $2,000. So what we'll do in that situation is we're able to, if we do have carrier dollars, we can go ahead and invoice 50-50, and then that takes care of their part. But as far as the HPM part of it, we are asking that you invest first and then be reimbursed. Why? Because we've had a lot of situations where we've ponied up cash and then the project never got off the ground. So we want to ensure that it's been paid for, that it's been launched, and then we will be reimbursing you. So once the submissions go through, we will pay out within 30 days of receiving that check request. And I'm going to walk you through exactly what you need to do in order to get your check reimbursed, okay? Now, within 30 days. Sometimes it might be faster, sometimes it might be at that 30-day mark, especially during season. It's a little harder to cut checks out in a timely manner. So we're going to do our best there. So those are the rules of the game here. We do need an itemized invoice and receipt. Be ready to upload that. We're asking that all carriers are aligned, and we're asking you to pay first and then be reimbursed, and then just be patient in getting that check back to you, and we'll get that check to you within 30 days. So wanted to be clear on that because we do get a lot of questions. Where's my check? Where's my check? Where's my check? It does take time sometimes. And sometimes we're asking for money from the carriers and the providers, and we have to scoop up that money from them. So this gives us a little bit more time to collect the marketing cash in order to distribute out to you. All right. So the first step in this process is that you've got to go ask for approval via the Co-op Ask Form, okay? And how do you ask for approval? Now, if you're a direct HPM agent, then you would get with a direct manager, in this case, Victor Crumity, or any HPM staff member, and let them know, hey, I am interested in the marketing match program. I'm interested in the co-op. How do I get started with that? And what we'll do on our side is we're going to send some instructions over to you. So the first thing that we're going to send you is what we call the Co-op Ask Form. This is a pre-approval form in order for you to submit the project and ensure that it is compliant, number one, because we want to keep you compliant, and number two, it's within budget. Obviously, if you might be a high roller and you're like, hey, I want to spend 50 grand. We might not have that in our bank, right? So we want to make sure that everything's aligning with that, and we want to ensure that we've got cash on hand and marketing on hand to get this project done. So I'm going to take you over to the form here, and this is our co-op pre-approval form. And in this pre-approval form, it's pretty straightforward, okay? So first thing is you're gonna see your name here. Just type in your name, and then you know what? I'll just go ahead and mark it up here so you guys can kind of see what's going on. Okay, next is email address. You can see how easy I'm doing this. Expected purchase date. This is the date that you think you're going to go ahead and make that purchase. And let's stick with the BRC just in this example. Let's say you're going to go ahead and you expect to make that purchase on the BRC, let's say on the 28th, just as an example. The type of marketing, so this is a direct mail campaign, but in here you can see that you've got submissions for events, you've got print ads, you've got print materials, you've got lead purchase, radio, TV, whatever it is that you're going to do. and by the way, you got to know what you're going to do before you get to this point, okay? Hit the direct mail. In this particular, you say, hey, I'm gonna use, just as an example, target leads. I've already talked to them. I'm going to do a direct mail campaign. So this project, let's say that you're going to do a T65 BRC campaign in Seminole County. So the more information that we have, the better it is for us to understand what's going on with the project. And then maybe you're, co-op with, one of the docs and carrier. Let's be specific on there. Let's say it's UHC, just as an example. And you can go ahead and put that project in there. Now here's the next part. If you have a marketing piece, okay? So if this is going through a vendor, then obviously you don't need to upload the marketing piece. But let's say, for instance, you're doing, a flyer, and you created this flyer and you just want to get 50% support on paying for this flyer, and you created it yourself, then you select flyer, obviously, and then we would need to see that flyer to ensure that what we're paying for is compliant. Okay, so you just click this, and then you just drag and drop it right on to your folder here, and it will upload it so we can just take a gander at it and ensure that everything's good. If there is a problem with the piece, then obviously, it's not going to decline your pre-approval, but we just would need to make adjustments before we approve it. Okay. Who's the vendor that you're using? So again, we're going with the BRC campaign just in this example. And let's say we're using target leads. And total cost of project, we'll use our same example. Let's say the total cost of the project is at $2,000. Okay. So you're going to go ahead and hit submit. And then that will go ahead and go over to Sergio Diaz for approval. He's our VP. And he will say yes, no, or call you with more information just so he can understand better with the project. Okay. So once that pre-approval has been done and he takes a look at it, hopefully he says, yes, you're approved, and you will get a notice by email. So check your email for next steps. And the next step is you're going to go have to, obviously, pay for your project because it's been approved. Go out, pay for your project. And then you're going to keep that itemized invoice and receipt. So you're going to go ahead and jump over to our co-op reimbursement form, which will look like this. And the reimbursement checks can take up to 30 days to receive. So thank you for your patience on that. I'm going to shrink myself so you can read that. Thank you for your patience on that. And because again, like I explained, sometimes we've got to collect some dollars from the carriers in order to ensure that they are paying for these projects. So I'm going to do a live version of that co-op. So this is a co-op reimbursement form here. And let's say that you submitted it. It was about 3 days later, and Sergio approved it on Friday. Okay. Again, we want to track these projects because it's not on the same sheet. So you're going to put in your name, your email, and then who is the check payable to. Now, if it's just to yourself and you're the one paying for it, no big deal, right? But I know some of you might have an organization. Maybe it's your spouse. Maybe you want the check payable to your company. You have an agency. You can go ahead and do that. So let's say in this instance, Health Plan Markets, I'd like the check to go to them. And then, you can get that done. Now, what's the tax ID number for this? You're going to need that tax ID number because if we're doing multiple projects, tax law requires us to collect the tax ID or social for yourself. So if you're using an agency or an LLC, you're going to put in the EIN number here, or if you're just using your social, you can go ahead and do that. And then again, what's that project for? This is that T65 campaign, just so we can link it back to ensure that that's going to go on the memo, and that's the reimbursement. Who is a vendor? Again, we just want to ensure that it's the right project. So this is target leads. And then what is your reimbursement amount? So if you remember, the doctor and the carrier we're also going to pay, and we're just using that. I think that's scenario 3. So it's a $2,000. The carrier came in with $1,000. It's $500 from the doctor, so there was $500 left. I know that I'm going to be responsible for $250, so I'm asking HPM for the other $250, right? So my cost, my reimbursement is the $250, okay? And then the last part of this is the itemized receipt. So we need to go ahead and load that. So again, you're going to click Add File, and I've got a receipt here ready to load. So I just drop it there and hit Upload, and that's it. So I got my receipt ready, and then I just go ahead and hit Submit. So it's pretty easy. There's nothing really crazy about this. It's just a matter of following the step-by-steps in order to get your check. Okay, so that then comes to me, and within 30 days you will receive your reimbursement check, whatever amount that looks like. It'll come right to me, Justin Jacobs, and we'll go ahead and get that check out to you. So that's it. Congrats on your co-op project. You are ready to go. You are dangerous. I know some of you had some questions in the chat. If you do have questions in the chat, I will get those answered here. And actually, I think my team here is answering a couple of these questions, so I appreciate that. But as you know, this project can absolutely help you scale your growth and get you to the next level. We want to invest in dollar amount. We're going to talk about that later down the road, about how much money we really want to give away at HPM, because we are in the mode of investing, and we want to invest in agents that are going to invest in themselves. Okay, so with that, if you have any questions, if you are interested, if you're not part of HPM yet, please jump out to our website, joinhpm.com, or you can give us a call at 844-696-3975. Again, that's 844-696-3975. And reach out to us, and we'll be glad to help you get started with the Marketing Match program. If you're already set up with us, just please reach out to your manager and say, hey, I'm ready to go with my Marketing Match program, and we'll get this started for you. I have to say I'm very, very excited to help you invest in this program, and we wish you the best of luck. Thank you for being on this quick webinar today, and we wish you the best. Thank you, guys.